Hello, this is Cresso, here for my fifth part on the Human Journal. I'm going to keep this loose, as always. I'm going to talk about, some of just the things I see online. Just constantly just thinking about what's going on in my mind and just seeing how people, what they talk about. See patterns. That's all I see about life is basically built on patterns. You have to if you at a certain point, I realize spiritually, you could basically see every pattern. You could basically navigate from one paradigm to another paradigm. And I talk about, I shared that I basically reconnect to consciousness. I'm not the same being that I was, for example, 2 years ago. Where I'm at now, I could literally see past a lot of these structures that we put together. I look at a lot of people, and I look at myself. I always look at myself from within and everybody else. We're all connected, whether you agree or not. And there's parts of consciousness that's awake. There are parts of consciousness that decides to be in a slumber. And I just give an example. I see a good number of people, they complain. People complain about things to change things. They talk about changing, just for example, their lives, changing the world. Yet I realized that people, let's just say in the surface part, it seems that people are not aware that they put this block. It's a phantom. They put a block within that they're not happy, they're going to complain, yet they're still in the same state. People complain about their life why their life is not where it's supposed to be. Because it's a belief system. The mind is going to suggest things. The mind is going to suggest things that you're not good enough. I say things similar to my previous journal clips. The mind is going to constantly basically suggest those things, going to replay the same thing. And until the individual decides to basically take control of the mind and say that, no, I don't have to take on what the mind say. I can just basically know who I am. People have to go within themselves and not be afraid, be fearless. I realize that a lot about people. Even myself, I look at myself that when I find myself in a certain state, I know what I have to do. I just quickly bounce back. I know that I am worthy of the best things in life because I know who I am. The same goes for everybody. People don't realize how much they basically make themselves as a victim in all forms. I'm going to touch on different things. I'm going to touch on people's personal lives and other viewpoints that people believe in. Somebody, for example, they're complaining about taxes. Okay? I look at this stuff. In spirit, I created taxes too, just like everybody else. There's a part of consciousness, and when I'm saying there's a part of consciousness, that means you, everybody. They talk about, you talk about that you feel like these things are not fair. Taxes is not fair. I created a clip on taxes, but just keeping this loose. I'm gonna go in and just basically tell you what my thoughts are, and what's the best way to go about certain ideas that you created. You complain about something, you created a block within yourself, and what you're doing is that you are taking in what your mind suggests to you. Okay? You don't like taxes, for example. Okay, I'm using this as an example. You don't like taxes. You know taxes is a racket. A lot of you know this. A good number of you know this. Okay? Maybe not everybody, but a good number of you know this. But I realized that I asked myself this question. We all have the answers to do different things, to change things up. And I know in spirit, I envision people evolved. This is not the future. I'm going to say this. I see things now. I know I say that, but you would say to yourself that right now, your life, you're not happy. Let's say you're complaining about taxes. But what I envision spiritually is happening right now. You see, when you lean in towards the physical only, you're going to say to yourself, well, something's wrong here. You don't see that. But it is. Things do change. Sometimes things is not the obvious. Things change that's just really not the obvious. There's different time tracks. There's things that happen right now, that things change now. There's things change on a different, slower pace, okay? Process-wise, Sometimes the physical is it's all about aligning yourself to the physical, to the spiritual state. But I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't confuse anybody. You complain about taxes and you don't like it, okay? You have to basically remove the block that you put in yourself and basically come together with everybody and remove taxes just like that. But you see, because everything is suggested idea, it's a belief system. You have layers of belief system. A lot of you understand about this idea of belief systems, but some of you decide to be afraid to go into yourself and take the responsibility that you can change belief system. You can change how you feel about yourself. And as you change how you feel about yourself, you basically automatically change things on the outside. That's just how it works. If you don't like taxes, you could easily close the IRS. Okay? But I realize in humanity, okay, we complain about things, but yet, like I said, you created a block, you feel that you develop a fear. Okay, this is what your mind is suggesting to you. Okay? And the mind, okay, is going to echo the ideas that we created. It's going to echo what your mind suggests. So basically, the ideas, let's say, for example, the idea of taxes, saying that without taxes, if taxes are not in place, then who's going to take care of this? Who's going to take care of that? You see, the ideas is echoing what your mind is suggesting. But a lot of us, a good number of us, feel stuck by choice. And I look at this myself because I, in spirit, created taxes. I supported the whole thing, right? But I know this to be true, that without taxes, the world is still going to be intact. I'm not afraid to shift into a different dimension, different reality. We all do this every day, but a lot of us decide to be at a certain state by choice. You will keep yourself in suspense, okay? And I've realized that it's all about experience-wise. So we talk about removing taxes, but then we still complain about it. It's still there, right? It's still there. And then I go on back and forth to myself. Like, people just constantly complain about it. People complain about the government. People complain about their communities and all those things. People feel like, when things going to change? And I realize again and again, I said to myself, you know what? Everything goes back to the individual. It goes back to how you feel. It goes back. It does go back to how you feel about yourself. Why do a lot of us support ideas that basically doesn't bring your highest joy? Because your mind is creating a phantom reality that you don't deserve certain things. So you're going to stay in this reality. Everything is what your mind is suggesting, and you take it because you feel that in your head, you feel like without certain ideas that you complain about, without those ideas, you will feel like you're going to feel basically that there's going to be chaos. And again, that's another suggested idea from the mind. You see, I want to say, and I'm recording in my journal, that I'm at a point where I'm at within consciousness that I could pick apart every single idea that a lot of us hold up to feel like it's impossible. A lot of us decide by choice now to hold on to certain issues and conflicts and still have these debates. And it seems to be a good number of you putting yourself in a circle. You think that by you continuously support a particular idea, that you think it's going to basically shift you into something better. Well, the thing is, I will say this. When you start to continuously feel that you're not worthy, and you have when you have a low vibe on yourself, you're going to still stay in the same type of reality over and over and over. You're not taking the responsibility that you could change everything. You see, it's not so much on the outside to go about things and change it. No, it's the inside. It's how you feel. It's how you feel. But in your mind will tell you that no, it's just the outside. Things is just black and white. And no, your mind will suggest things too, that who are you to change things? So your mind will also tell you that you have to be a particular person, somebody in a position in life. Let's say, for example, you have money, let's just say. And I will say in spirit, we're all wealthy. Let's just say your mind will tell you things like, you're not who are you? You're not, for example, you're not some big shot with all these money and all that, and you don't have no place in this world to say something to suggest some heavy changes or some big, like, revolutionizing everything. Who are you? So your mind will suggest those things. And by choice, I realize within humanity, we decide to be small. You feel like there's nothing you can do. Yeah, you complain about these things. You complain about your life. It's like somebody's complaining about their job and they're still there. You know why they're still there? It's because you do not deserve that you are worthy of the best things in life. And that's the thing I realized within humanity, that the layers of belief system. You have one limited belief system will try to reinforce itself to justify itself that why one belief system should stay, okay, or be intact for whatever reason. All this is mental. Everything's mental and physical, like I told you in my previous parts on my human journal. Everybody, I know that everybody has the power, our power, to cut through these limited belief systems. It's not hard. It's not hard. You see, when you speak and you say things like, oh, it's hard, I don't deserve this, I have too much stuff going on. See, and you know this, but I'm going to say this anyway. When you say these things, you're creating an affirmation that your life is going to be in a particular way. This is how it works. You basically set the law within your life that you are basically going to be in the same state over and over and over. And I know that this is all these things is based on experience. But even though I see people by choice going through things in a certain way, by, for the sake of experience, I will still inspire everybody. I will inspire everybody that to basically unlock, to tap in to the knowledge, that the infinite knowledge that is completely power, that you could do so many great things within yourself and life all around. And I go on the internet, I see a lot of ideas, a lot of these ideas that there's a lot of ideas that doesn't basically do anything good. It doesn't. I tell people things like, I always inspire people to take control of their life because we all can. We all could take full control of our life. But you have a limited belief system telling you that you have no control of your life. You feel that you have to go outside of you to basically to maybe have something to fix your life. Or you think that someone's going to save you. See, these are belief systems, but I realize that these belief systems are going to constantly hold you back. It's just going to keep you in suspense. It's the same thing like religion. Depending on your religion belief have this thing that there's a savior going to come one day. You don't know when the date is, but your savior is going to come and save you one day. So in the meantime, you have to suffer. And this is kind of going towards Christianity, but anything that suggests that you have to go through something, okay, in order to basically find yourself or to exalt yourself somewhere great, something that's going to bring your highest joy. I realize that we have to look into these things. We have to say to ourselves, is this serving me? Is this doing me good? This requires that you have to do the work. You have to do the work that I don't have to live in a certain way. And if I go about changing things, radically changing something, my life is going to be great. My life is great. Not going to be, but my life is great now. This is a thing that it takes doing something radically different. I learned from my human experience that one of the biggest thing about the human experience, is that it's all about habit. We do things over and over. Sometimes a lot of us, we feel like we don't know why we do it, but we do it. I question to myself, why people still attach into drama? People read all this stuff on the internet. They get sucked in, the gossip, all the stuff. It doesn't bring anybody, it doesn't bring somebody's vibe up, it lowers your vibe. It's all energy. It's all energy. And, I say to myself, why people just, do that? But I ask myself this question too. But I could say this, because I know what I do is that I flip it. I turn whatever that seems to be something that's bringing my vibe down, I flip it and I bring my vibe up. I create something. I don't feel like I'm stuck, like within myself in spirit, okay, I've took control of my life. Okay, I feel great about myself right now. This is what I feel. I am fearless. Everything around this universe, every wonderful thing around is connected to me. This is what I do within myself. And then I talk about these ideas that I create in spirit, like government and all these other things that a lot of us don't like, but we complain about it. What I do within myself is that I change the whole system. I actually remove the idea of government, or let's just say I shift it into a different dimension. I've gotten rid of the White House, all these other government buildings and other stuff. I got rid of that because I realized that these things is not bringing my highest joy. It's just a paradigm that we created that is going to stay, it's going to play the same program. Do I want to continuously observe the same program? No. I know that if I align myself with these ideas, right, it's not going to support my highest joy. So I go within myself and I say, yes, I am power, that I could create something different. And I do that. This is what I do. And this is what I inspire everybody to do the same thing within your life. It doesn't have to be politics. It could be anything. Whatever you go in your life and you feel like you're complaining, you feel like I have no control and all that. All those things. And another thing too, I realize with a lot of people is that you have to let go. You know this. I know you know this because your consciousness. You decide to be in a slumber, but I know it's based on experience. You're finding yourself. All I'm saying is that since I am consciousness, I am just sharing this to you that you don't have to live in a certain way. If you want to stay asleep, be my guest. I will inspire everybody to basically tap in. Okay? Go into yourself. Do not be afraid. Let go of other belief systems that if you don't like, let it go. If you let go of certain belief system, there's nothing horrible is going to happen to you. This is not about sacrifice either. You all deserve the best things in life. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your upbringing tells you. It doesn't matter what your job tells you. It doesn't matter what your religion faith tells you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the circumstances, whatever you see, what goes on in this world. It doesn't matter. It tailors right to you. And this is what I tell everybody. It goes right to you. Your head, you remember, your mind is going to suggest that you need to keep certain ideas intact in order for life to function. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to worry. I decide that I'm not going to worry what anybody thinks, what I share. You see, I envision that we all close down police stations. Do you know why I envision that we all close down police stations? Because I know the idea of police station doesn't bring anything good. You see, the idea of police, for example, all it does, it gives you a false sense of safety. But the paradigm itself, okay, the paradigm itself is all about fear. Even the people that observe these function as a police, they are afraid themselves. They're always looking around. They are afraid and they're looking for trouble. So the thing is that the idea of police, what it does is that it attracts. You understand? It attracts things. So not realizing the paradigm itself is basically magnetic. So yes, if you are a police officer, for example, yes, you're going to attract things. Okay? You are. And at the same time, you're living a life of fear. And another thing, you are trying to control people. But you see, the thing is, I envision us closing down police stations. Okay? With that, also, I know that everybody's capable of basically shaping, changing, or let's just say changing their mind into a different form. So if you have a low self-esteem, or you feel low about yourself, or you have this anger or rage within yourself, you could go within yourself, grab these emotions and change it into something different, because you are power. I'm saying this to you because I used to feel depressed. I had these experience of feeling rageful. But I'm not the same person I was before. Sometimes I see certain ideas. My own mind suggests that to fight these ideas. It's kind of like this whole thing about fight the power. I realized to myself that the truth of the matter is, I don't have to fight the power. I am power. I'm a creator, just like everybody else. I don't have to go out there and protest, have these mass protests, and feel in a certain way. No, I don't. I could create something. We all could create something. It's like, once you understand, once you decide to know that you are worthy, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, okay? It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter. Once you decide to align yourself with that, you're going to be able to basically join in with everybody else. And then everybody else is going to blanket the world. You're going to blanket the world to create something different, because we are all consciousness. This has nothing to do, no offense, but this is not the Million Man March or million whatever, okay? We're talking about a movement. People joining together, not being a victim, but basically taking a responsibility that you can create a better world. But it all goes down to you. This is what I think I learned about people, is that people feel like they don't have what it takes to do certain things. And I'm talking about doing things like radically different, like going all the way. And I'm saying things for a reason. I inspire everybody, and I say certain things. There's a reason why I mention government. There's a reason why I mention cops, because this is a connection to us. All these things is connection. It is. But these are ideas. These are suggested ideas. You don't want to remove. You created a phantom within yourself, this wall or block, that if you remove government, police, and other stuff that you don't like and you think is necessary for life because you're afraid, all you're doing is you're keeping yourself in the same lifestyle. You're basically decide to live in bob wires. You're going to basically live life in fear. So you're going to attract more things and more things. And you're going to feel like, why things is not changing? Because you're holding on to ideas that's going to suggest fear and control. I could literally pick apart this life, the ideas in this life. I can. I definitely can, because I'm consciousness. I know how it works. I put it together too in spirit, just like you did, just like you. I know how the whole paradigm works. When you understand and you take control, and again, you are aware, you are in full command. I mean, you're in full command, like, all the way. And that's the truth. Do not be afraid to do something different for yourself. When you focus on something that's not going to bring your highest joy, you're deciding to stay at a certain state. I'm going to emphasize, your belief system is going to, and within your mind, is going to tell you that, no, you don't have anything what it takes to change anything within yourself and the world. You don't have that. But it's an illusion. I'm saying this out of experience. It's an illusion what the mind creates. It does. You are power to create something different. You are power. and you are creator, and you are harmony, that you can be alongside with others and blanket this whole world to change something. But again, the changes, everything starts from within you. Everything is simple. A lot of people, not all, I realize a lot of people will bring so many tons of excuses. Tons of excuses. A lot of people will bring the worst case situation to say to themselves, you see, this is why we need to have this. But then people decide by choice to be afraid to basically say, no, it doesn't have to be that way. You question a logical mind. You tell your mind to no, it doesn't have to be that way. Because see, everything, the thing that has the ultimate power is spiritual. When you go in within spiritually and you say, no, I don't have to go by the rules of these ideas that I created by the physical plane, you are able to basically bend the rules. You are able to change everything, okay? Because who you are. Your mind, again, will continuously give you these compelling evidence to say that, no, we need to have police. Because if we don't have police, there's chaos. But you see, your mind, once again, doesn't understand how the spiritual works. Your head will attach onto religion. For those that observe religion, will say that there's always will be bad people, and everybody's always this and that and da 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 da. But you know, I am fearless to tell you this, because I am consciousness, that no, it doesn't have to be that way. Things could be different. I do see things and I envision things different. And I realized recording my journal that, I have to take the responsibility to keep different things alive. Meaning I gotta keep I can't just sit there and give up. I can't. What I envision is real. It doesn't matter if you believe what I'm saying or not. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying to you is that I could basically pick apart of these ideas that basically suggest to lower your vibe. Recently I picked apart this idea, this America idea of freedom. I care less. I'm not attached to a flag, nor do I'm attached to what land I'm from. Doesn't matter. I could be anywhere I want to be. I'm consciousness. I don't care. I care less about a flag. I just don't. I mean, I could limit myself and identify myself to be an American. I could do that. All those things are experience. You see, what I was saying to you in part of my human journal, in one of my parts, is that the world is based on the physical and mental. But again, ultimately, spiritually, the spirit plane is the dominant. I pick apart about the American idea of freedom. I expressed about basically what real freedom is. And real freedom is basically spiritual. But everybody's free to play the game to basically that you have to fight, defend your freedom. We're free to believe that. We think that, we think freedom is through a piece of paper and a 4th of July, and that's it. But, I look at these things and from a different point of view spiritually, it's like, wow, these are the things that people play. It's all an experience. It's an experience, Everything is experience. Every single thing. Everything. And, I don't mind basically picking apart these ideas because I'm consciousness. I could pick apart. It's like building blocks. I could take out the top part of the building and I could just rearrange it and put it to something different. That's what I could do. I could do that. I can't. I'm not going by a particular rule. I don't. I could, but I don't have to. I'm basically decided to do something different. I decided to create something different. I meditate, and I know I understood very well about affirmation. That basically, when you visualize something different, and you go within yourself and believe, you could definitely manifest basically how things will be. And you know what? Things do. That's the way consciousness works. That's the way every different dimension works. You know, things do manifest, but it all depends on the dimension. But it's like everything's possible. Everything's possible. I look around and my mind suggests for me to feel frustrated with people, like why people are still acting like they're stuck or stuff like that. But I realized that I say to myself, no, I don't have to feel frustrated. There's moments, I have my moments, but I don't have to feel frustrated. I can feel good. I can feel good about myself. I can feel good about other people. Everybody's capable of doing wonders. And that's the thing I have to keep saying to myself, because who we are. And the worst case situation goes on in this world could be changed just like that, at an instant. At an instant. I don't care what the physical tells me. The physical tells me that let's say a war-torn country, oh my gosh, and all these things are happening. I don't care, honestly, because you know why? Because everything is changeable, because who we are. Everything is changeable. I made a decision not allow my mind to tell me this is the way it is and that's final. No, I don't. I make a decision from within. You see, that's how I go about it. I don't want to keep things a secret and how I'm able to be at a certain place spiritually. I am so gladly to share this with everybody, because we're all capable of doing great things. And that's the thing. I wanted to share this in this journal. I want to keep it loose, and I wanted to express this stuff. And yes, I know you feel in your head that you just wish that you could change something by holding on an old idea, an idea that you created. But it's still the same. It's like you're saying to yourself, it's the same thing how you feel about yourself. Let's say you're impatient with yourself, or you don't like yourself, and you say to yourself at the same time, oh, I'm going to do something great for myself. But at the same time, there's a belief system. There's a belief system that either you keep hidden or something, but you don't entirely like yourself. But then you want to do something good for yourself. You understand? This is the conflict that goes on. So when you hold on to certain ideas that's going to bring your vibe down, you can't expect to have something that's going to be great while you're basically supporting a paradigm that is going to basically suggest different things. For example, we still believe in a political system because you're thinking that, and I've seen this through the years, that you're thinking that each candidate is going to bring some sort of hope. Doesn't matter what country, but a lot of us, we still feel that way. We feel like that, this candidate's going to do this and that, and that, you first you become lazy within yourself, okay? You already have the belief system that you don't deserve the best things in life, okay? You believe that story. You hold on to it. Maybe you keep it hidden, okay? Then you support ideas that basically going to suggest and do the same thing over and over and over. And then you feel like you do your best to feel hopeful that yes, if I stay with this paradigm, my life is going to be better. But the paradigm itself suggesting the opposite. But you still believe that something will work out. And at the same time, you are afraid to remove or shift the idea into a different dimension, because the idea itself and your mind, because you created these ideas now, everybody, and so do I, is going to tell you, okay, when I mean tell you, suggest that if you remove certain things, there is going to be chaos. And I'm simply here to say to everybody, that's an illusion. It's really an illusion. I see these things very carefully. Everything is a pattern. I see the pattern of all this. That's why I don't really take it seriously in a sense like, oh my gosh, there's nothing we could do, and and we're stuck. No. I'm able to see past a lot of these things. This thing, I tell you, it's just, this been going on within humanity for a very long time. And it's the idea of feeling stuck. You complain about it, you feel stuck, okay? But it all goes back to you. So you feel that way about yourself, okay? You feel that way about yourself, and then you bring it outside of you with ideas that you created, okay? So you feel like you're not worthy. You don't deserve best things in life. So you're going to create an idea that's going to align you, that's going to align with you of how you feel about yourself. So that's why you find yourself saying and complaining on Twitter and other places saying that this is not fair, and why is this happening, and so is going to try to control me. You think a politician or somebody in a courtroom, somebody that plays a function of a judge, you think that person could actually control you. But because you feel a certain way about yourself, again, you're going to align yourself with these ideas that's going to support these feelings inside, okay? Now, it doesn't mean that you're condemned. You're not condemned, okay? These are just experiences. You don't have to stay with the experience. You could have your experience and you could shift into something else. You could shift into a different experience that's going to basically bring your highest joy. Life is all about experience, okay? That's what life is all about. So you don't have to feel like I'm stuck, or you don't have to feel like I have to wait for some Jesus Christ who's gonna maybe one day come down and save you. You don't have to stay with that story. But if you want to, for the sake of the experience, be my guest. All I'm telling you is that every single one of you, even myself, can navigate from one dimension to another dimension. Let's just say one experience to another experience. And that's the thing I see. That's the thing I could say about humanity. We stay with this false idea that we can't do anything different. And if we do something different, something terrible is going to happen. You have the answer. You see, you question everybody. You see, you questioning and you have the answers. You have the answers because we are all consciousness. You are consciousness. That's what you are. So I just want to express this, I just do my best to keep this loose. Just, again, I'm writing my journal, not writing, but recording my journal as if I'm writing it. But I just want to inspire everybody to look in when you look in within yourself. Just don't be afraid. Be fearless that you could change things from within. It's not hard. Your mind is going to suggest things hard, but it's not hard. It's not. You put in a block. You are. Nobody else outside of you is putting this block to navigate to something different. You are. And you could basically remove the block and go do what you like to do. There's no ideas that could control you and dictate you. No ideas. I just want to share this as I'm recording this. Even for myself, nothing could stop me from doing what I enjoy doing. Nothing, because I'm consciousness. I wanted to inspire you to accept this because this is the truth. Okay, I will be back, hopefully for my 6th journal. Whatever comes to my mind, I'm going to share it. So I will be back for my 6th part of the Human Journal. Take care.